Alrighty, so our goal for the day is to get the power plant back into the Evo 8, the engine, the transmission, and the transfer case. Engine's already built, the transfer case is fully assembled, ready to go in. Transmission is completely torn down, so we need to go through, get that reassembled. But first, I want to go through and refinish the cases. Here's why. This transmission was rebuilt by a very, very high-end shop. But unfortunately, they don't really care about the exterior, I guess you could say, of the transmission. And what they do is just put it together with all the bolts and everything and go ahead and slap on some rattle can paint. I'm not the biggest fan of that. I don't think it looks good whatsoever. Of course, when it starts peeling and flaking off like it is, it does not look good, especially in a freshly painted engine bay. So I need to go through and sandblast all of that rattle can paint off of the transmission case. Now, if you're gonna do this to your transmission, make sure you go through and pull out all of the bearings and races and any little thing that is inside the transmission. We can't have any sand left in there whatsoever. Yo guys, the Vasyn mystery bags just went live. At minimum, $130 in these mystery bags for only 69 bucks. First link down below. All you need to do is go on the website, pick your size. I'm gonna grab at least $130 worth of goodies, just random mystery goodies in your size and ship it out to you. For example, this bag that I just grabbed, this has a jet tag, a rustic flag drip V t-shirt, automotive lifestyle GT3 RS hoodie, and a Fast Cars and Freedom Evo hoodie. All that for the price of only $69. First thing down below, I love doing these mystery bags, man. They always sell out very, very, very quickly. And you guys, of course, are always super stoked on the mystery bags as well. Insane value for what you get. And that's why I usually only do them about one time per year. Now thankfully it is just rattle can, so it should blast off in seconds. Oh yeah, that's gonna blast off very quickly. Our casing is fully sandblasted, and now we are ready to start the coating process. So when it comes to something like this, you either have powder coat or you have something called Cerakote. I'm gonna be applying Cerakote today. I have powder coated transmission cases before, but Cerakote is much, much thinner than powder coat is. So when it comes to like coating the bolts and gasket surfaces and things of that nature, you don't have to worry about it with Cerakote. You can't really powder coat a bolt because the coating thickness builds up on the head and then it'll most likely chip off. So today we are going to be applying Cerakote. This is H151 satin aluminum. Now when it comes to Cerakote, you have air cure and oven cure. Air cure takes a few days to fully cure out. Oven cure, you bake it in the oven. As soon as it's out and cooled down, you're ready to assemble. So that is why we are applying the oven cure today. What we're gonna do is go ahead and put the transmission case in the oven for the gas out phase, 60 minutes at 300 degrees, pull it out, let it cool down, and spray out the Cerakote. So the casing is out of the oven, fully cooled down, and we are ready to Cerakote it. Now the H series, which is the oven cure, is a two-part coating. So we have a part A and a part B. We need to mix the part A with the part B, and depending on your mixing ratio, that will affect and change the gloss amount. So a standard gloss level is 18 parts of this to 1 part of that. High gloss would be 12 to 1. Low gloss is 24 to 1. Let's go with the low gloss. I think that's gonna look the best and most OEM on this casing. So I have my little scale here in a mixing cup. In total, we're probably gonna need at least 200 grams to start. All right, we have the Cerakote mixed up inside of our spray gun. I'll be using a 0.8 mil tip, and we are going for a coverage of 1 to 2 mil thickness on the entire case. So our casing is fully coated. Now we're gonna let it sit for 15 minutes and then it goes in the oven for its bake cycle, 2 hours at 250 degrees. As soon as we pull it out, let it cool down, we are ready to reassemble. So our transmission cases are out of the oven, fully cooled down, and you guys can see just how beautiful that Cerakote looks on the cases. Now before they go back together, we need to install these baffle plates, kind of like a Evo valve cover. When you sandblast it, you got to remove the plates, because if you don't, a bunch of sand gets stuck down in there, and if you go to run it like that, you will lose a transmission. So we need to drill and tap all of these spots where it was riveted on, and then using these M4 screws, we will screw the baffle plates back on. Now somehow I broke off a bolt, but we still have 5 other bolts that are lock headed in. I don't think that's going to be a big deal whatsoever. Let's go ahead and assemble this transmission. Alrighty, our transmission is 100% complete. Now, it's not my favorite looking transmission I've ever built. In my opinion, all of the hardware needs to be zinc plated gold. All the black brackets, those all technically from the factory should be zinc plated. But hey, that thing looks a billion times better than what it did before. All right, before the motor and transmission goes in the car, it is much, much easier to dress up the motor while it's out of the car. So the water pump, thermostat, the whole turbo kit with the downpipe, wastegate setup, dump tubes, intake, throttle body, AC compressor, alternator, serpentine belt, everything on the serpentine belt. If we get all of that installed before the motor goes in the car, it makes life way easier. Last thing to go on before the beloved ETS turbo kit goes on is the engine harness. A lot of times I'll leave this in the car connected to the ECU, but this time around I pulled it out with the engine and it made life way easier. All of the wiring, the accessories up front, and the whole entire intake side is complete. Now let's move on to the beloved turbo kit. So we're going to be using the ETS manifold. This car is going with a Precision 6466 with a 102 hot side, sorry, a 105 hot side. We can get the wastegates on, the wastegate dump tubes, the downpipe, and then this thing is ready to go into the car. Turbo manifold is installed, turbo is installed, let's go ahead and plumb it. So we have the feed and return line. This is a oil cooled only turbo. There's no water lines that run to it like the factory turbo. So it's cooled by the oil. All we have is the oil feed. Oil comes out there and goes there, and then return from there back down to the factory location. Both feed and return lines are installed. Let's go ahead and slap on the wastegates, dump tubes, and the downpipe. All right, my friends, the full-on turbo kit is installed. Now we need a clutch, a flywheel, a transmission, and this old girl gets put in the car. Now this right here is the best sound in the world, because that means you're getting close. Motor and transmission are in the car. Man, this engine bay is turning out so good. Freshly paint matched, beautiful Cerakote transmission casing, and then of course the splatter black manifold, brand new turbo kit, and the bronze valve cover. Now I'll be honest, Bobby and I are a little bit undecided if that is actually going to stay the accent color. It's between that matte bronze, which that is Cerakote, or a nice poppy vibrant red. Comment below, help us out. What do you guys think? Matte bronze or a nice poppy vibrant red for the accent color? Accent color being the calipers and the valve cover, maybe the strut tower bar, but that's pretty much it. All the intercooler piping, the intake pipe, all the other stuff is going to stay the factory ETS wrinkle black, so it should look very, very nice inside the engine bay. But yeah, accent color is very important, and I guess we could always change it in the future if it doesn't look good. But here's how the bay is currently looking. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up today's video right here. First start should hopefully be tomorrow. There is a bunch of stuff I wanna get done on the subframe assembly. I need to repowder coat the subframe and do all that jazz before it goes back in the car. But first start might be tomorrow.